So we'll just do non-duality tonight. No subject, just non-duality. So what is suffering to me? Suffering to me is the identification with the personality structure. And the personality structure is a set of conditions that are social and genetic that arise in everybody's mind. And that includes the voice in your head, that includes choice making, that includes personal awareness. And all of that is being experienced. But what suffering is to me, when the energy is that claims it and says that is who you are, whereas actually that's part of who you are, but it's not who's actually experiencing. It's not the experiencer, it's an experience that's appearing in who you are. And suffering is when you identify with that. And when you identify with that, you lose yourself. And through losing yourself, you then look for yourself in a timeline that doesn't actually exist. So then you look for yourself in a daydream of you, and you're believing that your freedom comes in a future event, in a future moment, and you're always waiting to arrive at that moment. It's not that there's a problem with the thinking mind imagining the future. It's this energy which believes that you're going to arrive when this or that happens. Whereas there is no arrival. What you're actually looking for is right now. But when you believe that the arrival, that the place that you're looking for is in the future, it means that you become too attached to pain and pleasure, and too attached to the outcome of events and things and situations. So if you really believe it's your home, then you'll be too attached to your home. Or if you really believe it's your lover, then you'll be too attached to your lover. And then all of that creates lots of mental struggle and expectations and ideas about what you have to be and what you have to get. Whereas actually your home, what you're always looking for, is right here. It's what's happening. Right here. Right now.
The thing gives me shocks.
There. That's the end of that then. So who are you? So who you are isn't an object, it's not a thing. Everything that you think about yourself, so your name, your form, your behaviors, your choices, your personal awareness, your ideas, your money, your situation, all of that is something that comes and goes and is always changing. But what is it right here that doesn't change? There's something else that doesn't change here. but you can't see it. So this is why it's totally baffling to the mind, because the mind tries to see it. Okay, what is it that's looking? Who is the looker? But you can't ever find it because it's looking. So the mind that's struggling in front, like, where is it? Where is the looker? Is being watched, is being experienced. You can never turn around and look at the looker, but yet it is yourself. It is you. So therefore, there is a knowing of it. It's so personal. Like, I know that sounds weird, but it's so intimate, this empty looking and this sense of being. It's always been there. So when you were like 5, 10, 20, 30, 40, there was always this vibrant sense of being. And it almost feels like your essence doesn't age, even though you have lots of experiences and lots of different environments. You still feel like that same essence at 2 years old, or 5 years old, or 10 years old. And that never shifts. And that's who you are, but it's not something you can grab hold of. It's not something you can look at or imagine. So even in talking about it, anything that you're imagining about it is being experienced. And it's that experiencing that is who you are, that looking, but you can't see it. You can't ever find it. It's not a thing. But yet, because it's not a thing, that means the looking is in everything. So it's not a thing and it's all things. Even to say it's consciousness is like a way of our mind trying to intellectually digest it. But so if you want to say it's consciousness, then it has to be seen that consciousness isn't a thing. It's not a thing that you can grab hold of. What happens is it feels like your mind can split and you can somehow see consciousness or personal awareness, but you can't really. It doesn't exist, consciousness. There is looking, and the looking is appearing in all things. It's appearing with the sound of my voice. It's appearing with the sight of my face. It's appearing with the color of my hair. It's appearing with everything. If you ever think that you know who you are, then you don't know who you are, because you can't know who you are. You can only be who you are. You can't know it, because that would be a fragmentation of the mind. And there's something that knows that, so there's something that experiences that. So if you kind of feel like you know something, then notice that it's being experienced. That is being experienced. So who you are is a mystery. It's beyond words. It's not this or that or right or wrong or good or bad. It's beyond anything that you understand. It's right here. It doesn't move. Everything moves in it. It's absolutely timeless. It's absolutely empty of any quality of this world. It doesn't have space. It doesn't have time. It doesn't have past. Doesn't have future. That is time. It just is here, watching and experiencing itself. It doesn't care about good or bad. It is simply experiencing. And then it looks through a human that has all of these things. So the human has the ability to chronologically see time. The human has the ability to judge what is good and bad. But that's not you. That's a filter in which life is looking through, but it's not who you are. That's an experience. And when you solely believe that's you, there's so much existential worry that appears with that, and so much pressure put on that. Like, you believe it's your responsibility to find meaning, to find purpose, to do things, to be good. And notice how the seeking mind is always looking for who you are, like in this, in doing that, if I do this, if I do that. It always wants a remedy or a method in order to get to this, but you can't get to this. It just is here, present, beautiful, experiencing. It's not located, it's not limited, it's not small, it's not big, it's not white, it's not black, it's not good, it's not bad. It's everywhere and everything. It's looking. It's all the objects it experiences. And it's not a thing. And it's found in the object. So you think that consciousness or looking comes from inside the brain and then we look at, whereas actually looking is in the appearances. It's in it. So then we've got this seeking energy that comes up. So seeking for things. And everyone will have particular patterns of seeking and what they're identified with. So some people will believe it's creativity, some people believe it's money, some people will believe it's love, some people will believe it's sex, and then there will become a fixation on that. And then and what you're fixated on is the actual release from seeking that it gives you. So the sex or the being creative, it's not so much doing that, it's that when you do it, you have this release of seeking. So your seeking momentarily stops, or stops in the moment that you complete it or you do something. You stop wanting to be somewhere else. So there's a collapsing into this moment. So you feel more present when you get the sexuality, when you get the creativity, when you get the house. You're suddenly like, you don't want to move into the future or try and avoid the past. You're here. And then the seeking stops, and then you're present, and then your mind thinks it's in the object, it's in getting the object. It's not a conscious thing, but that's what your body deducts, because what you want is home. So then your body deducts that that will give you what you want. Okay, we go to questions. I sometimes struggle to do a very long introduction. Like boop, boop, that's it. I'm sure there's so much I could say, but it just doesn't always appear. So let's see what questions people have.